Oh,
All right, good morning, everyone.
oh, just one second. We can't hear you. Seattle channel, can we have an audio check?
I can see and hear you.
Okay.
We can't hear the banner. You have
No.
to play it again.
We couldn't hear the banner. Okay.
Ready? Okay. All right. Good morning, everyone. The time is 10:31, and the April 10th meeting in the Housing and Human Services Committee will now come to order. I'm Kathy Moore, Chair of the committee. Will the clerk please call the roll?
Council President Nelson, Councilmember Saka,
Here.
Councilmember Wu,
Present.
Vice Chair Morales, Chair Moore,
Present?
3 present.
Let the record reflect that council members Morales and Nelson have been excused. Moving on to the agenda, if there is no objection, today's proposed agenda will be adopted. All right, hearing no objection, the agenda is adopted. So thank you everyone for being here today for the April 10th meeting of the Housing and Human Services Committee. On today's agenda, we have 6 items, all for possible vote. First, we have 1 appointment to the Seattle LGBTQ Commission, and second, we have 5 appointments to the Burke-Gilman Place Public Development Authority Governing Council. Now, at this time, we will move on to public comment. We will now open the hybrid public comment period. Public comments should relate to items on today's agenda or be within the purview of this committee. Madam Clerk, how many speakers are signed up today?
Currently, we have 2 speakers in person, and there are 2 remote speakers.
All right. So each speaker will have 2 minutes. We will start with the in-person speakers. Clerk, can you please read the public comment instructions?
The comment period will be moderated in the following manner. The public comment period is 20 minutes. Speakers will be called in the order in which they registered. Speakers will alternate between sets of in-person and remote speakers until the public comment period has ended. Speakers will hear a chime when 10 seconds are left of their time. Speakers' mics will be muted if they do not end their comments within the allotted times to allow us to call on the next speaker. The public comment period is now open, and we will begin with the first speaker on the list.
All right, who's our first speaker?
The first speaker is Alex Zimmerman, followed by Kate Rubin.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Just one moment, let me share my screen.
Okay, we may begin.
Sie Heil, my dirty damn Nazi fascist junta, bandito and killer. My name Alex Zimmerman. Housing, what is how in Seattle, and I live this almost for a year. I remember 1 bedroom cost before $300, right now it costs $3,000. It's go very fast, and exactly for the last 10 years. So I have 2 propositions before, so right now I will bring you each time in this meeting my proposition, what is I have for many years. For example, Seattle Times a few months ago printed an article what it shows a few dozen thousand apartments in Seattle staying empty for years. So I spoke about this before, and I'll speak right now. Many apartments, for example, they're so expensive, like charge $25,000 per month. My question right now very simple. This top-level speculator use city land is city people, you know what this means, for make money. This speculator don't want to send this, make a cheaper price, so somebody will be come and live, will be cut price down, you know what this means. So my proposition very simple. In Canada, have this few years ago, 25% we need charge from them. You understand? When you go to bank and borrow money, you pay something. When I, for example, late with my parking ticket, I paid double. They use us land, they use us people, you know what this mean, for make money. How is this possible? It's America. When I have business with you and you use my territory or my place, pay me something. is supposed to be commissioned from this. My proposition, when you stay empty more than 2 months, you need to pay 25% like Canada doing, for example, Canada doing. Is this it? This is exactly what is we need doing right now. This falling price down like a domino, falling. It will be best for everybody. Thank you very much. Okay.
Thank you. Next speaker.
The next speaker is Kate Rubin, followed by our first online speakers.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. My name is Kate Rubin. I am one of 5 commissioners on the Seattle Renters Commission, and I am here today to urge you to go through and review the other 5 appointments that we are waiting on so we can get to work. A Renters Commission of 5 is not representative of the renters here in Seattle. More than half of us are renters, and we really need to have a voice and be able to work together, and our group is too small to do that, and we shouldn't be here volunteering our time for something that is just propped up and is not actually supported. And then I also wanted to invite all of you, but especially you as the committee chair, Council Member Moore, to come to our meetings and talk about what your priorities are for renters and how we as a commission can work together with you to help support the renters here in this city. Alrighty, thank you.
Thank you very much. Next speaker.
The next speaker is remote speaker Bill Curlin Hackett. Please press *6 to speak.
Council members, I'm the Reverend Bill Curlin Hackett, and I direct the Interfaith Task Force on Homelessness. Back in 2011, the scofflaw ordinance put those living in vehicles at risk of impound, and with the help of former Mayor McGinn, we started the scofflaw mitigation team to cure harm to vehicle residents and avoid impounds. The pandemic ended that effort, and in 2021, as KCRHA started, we created within it a vehicle residency work group. That continued until January of this year, and now we meet independently. Members include authority-funded outreach teams in Seattle, those doing safe parking in Seattle and the North, East, and South County regions. We were core to getting the RV Safe Lot started. We've met with the monthly Chiefs Sheriffs meeting in Burien. We've met with Amy Smith, Chief of the Care Department. We've had 2 virtual meetings with Deputy Mayor Washington and HSD staff, and with many of the former council members who sit where you now sit. We'd like to meet in person with you and do a panel in this committee. You and the whole council were also sent an email this morning giving a better summary of our efforts. The reality is, in 2020 pit count, half of the unsheltered in the county were living in vehicles. And sadly, our efforts at addressing that are woefully underfunded and understaffed. So if you have any questions now, please ask, but otherwise we'll be in touch to have some meetings in person. Thanks.
Thank you very much.
The next remote speaker is David Haynes, who is not yet present, but it looks like he might be signing in.
Mr.
He's still not present.
Are you there?
No. So I believe that's our last public speaker then.
Okay. All right. Thank you. There are no additional registered speakers. We'll now proceed to our items of business. Members of the public are encouraged to either submit written public comment on the sign-up cards available on the podium or email the council at council@seattle.gov. And thank you to all who did appear today and make comments. We certainly do take comments on board and consider them. All right. We will now move on to the first item on our agenda. Madam Clerk, will you please read the first agenda item into the record?
Agenda item 1, appointment 2827, appointment of Christina Pizzagna as member of the Seattle LGBTQ Commission for a term to October 31st, 2025 for briefing, discussion, and possible vote.
All right, thank you. So today we have with us Janet Stanford from the Office of Civil Rights joining us remotely to introduce us to Christina. I'll turn it over to you, Janet, to talk about the work of the commission and to introduce the appointee.
Thank you, Chair Moore, and good morning to all you council members. My name is Janet, and I am here through the Seattle Office for Civil Rights. I am here on behalf of the LGBTQ Commission, who advises the mayor and city council and city departments on issues of concern affecting the LGBTQ community. Some of their event collaborations with City Council and the Mayor's Office has included the annual Pride flag raising, as well as connecting with administration staff from the years prior to share some of their work plans. This year, they look forward to meeting many of you and sharing some of their current work goals for this year. So today we have one appointee, Christina Pisana, who is an active member of the board. I did have a statement here prepared because Christina couldn't attend, so I can continue with that.
All right, thank you. Please go ahead.
Thanks. Christina Pisana is a fourth-generation Chicana parent and has spent the last 20 years as a grassroots organizer working on equity issues for young people, parents, and families of color, centered on liberation and justice work. For the last 5 years, they have been advocating in schools. Part of this work has been very complex, directing and recentering staff and parents, understanding the awareness around inclusion in very personal ways. Christina has an architecture background, which in many ways involves listening to stakeholders' needs, researching technical designs and safety guidelines, also problem-solving complex challenges and producing tangible outcomes on multiple projects. Hope, love, liberation, and accountability are all elements Christina strives to center on the commission. They are a fierce advocate for our most vulnerable and underserved youth in very creative and connected ways. As I mentioned earlier, Christina has been an active participant and filled a vacant term last year on the commission and was also voted in to do an interim co-chair. Today, she holds a permanent co-chair position and leads the Racial Justice and Intersectionality Committee. Thank you for your time.
All right, well, thank you very much for that introduction and information. And I did want to extend my gratitude to Christina for their interest in serving on this commission. Colleagues, are there any questions or comments before we move to a vote? No? Okay, not seeing any. Thank you. So seeing no further questions or comments, I now move that the committee recommend confirmation of appointment 2827. Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you. It's been moved and seconded to recommend confirmation of the appointment. Are there any final comments before we vote? Seeing none, will the clerk please call the roll call on the recommendation to confirm the appointment?
Councilmember Saka?
Aye.
Councilmember Wu?
Yes.
Chair Moore?
Yes.
3 in favor, none opposed.
Thank you. So the motion carries and the committee recommendation to confirm the appointment will be sent to the April 16th City Council meeting. Again, thank you, Janet, for joining us today. And please pass along the committee's gratitude for Christiana for their interest in serving the commission and the residents of our city. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. Will the clerk please read the 2nd through 6th agenda items into the record?
Agenda items 1 through 6, appointments 2818 through 2822. Appointments of Joseph E. Brotherton, David L. Creed, Michael Hotzenbeeler, Jennifer Kelty, and Karen Stoll as members to the Burke-Gilman Place Public Development Authority Governing Council for the terms to December 31st, 2026 for briefing, discussion, and vote.
All right, thank you. So today we have with us Michael Hotzenbeeler. I hope I pronounced that correctly. The chair of the Burke-Gilman PDA, also appearing remotely. And I will turn it over to you to talk about the work of the PDA and tell us about the 5 appointees, including yourself.
Thank you, Chair Moore and council members. It's a pleasure to be here and joining you. Thanks for the remote option. So the Burke-Gilman Place Public Development Authority is one, as you probably know, one of a number of PDAs that the city has. Burke-Gilman is probably one of the smallest of the PDAs. It was created in the early 80s to manage and maintain a small piece of property in Northeast Seattle that was given to the city by the Coast Guard. It was at one time a Coast Guard transmitter site, and was donated to the city in the 70s, I believe. There are a number of entities that provide services and housing to residents of the Northeast Seattle area within the PDA. And the PDA board has a total of 9 seats. There are 4 user representatives and then 5 community at large seats. So the user organizations are some that you might be familiar with. My organization, Provale, that provides some housing to individuals, affordable housing to individuals with disabilities on site. The Children's Center, which is an early childhood development center on site. The Ronald McDonald House, and then Children's Hospital. Those are the 4 user groups that are represented on the board and on the PDA. So 2 of the appointments today are myself and Jennifer Kelty from the Children's Center. So we're renewing our terms as user representatives. And then Karen Stoll is a new user representative for Ronald McDonald House. And then we have 2 community at large new members of the PDA board. So I'll go through the list of nominees. So Joseph Brotherton is a graduate of Loyola Marymount University of Washington. He's a resident of Northeast Seattle with his wife and 2 children. His connection to the PDA is that he currently has a child who is enrolled at the Children's Center, and he has his older child attended there when he was younger. Joseph is a founder of BT Family Advisors, which specializes in family office services, helping individuals and families with their financial, real estate, and other needs. He's an active public volunteer, community volunteer. He's been a board member for Teens in Public Service and an instructor at University Behind Bars, and brings a really great skill set and personal connection to the PDA board. David Creed is also a Washington native, grew up on Hood Canal before moving to Seattle, where he has lived ever since. Currently lives in the Ravenna neighborhood. And professionally, David is a safety facility and operations leader supporting biotech and research institutions in the Seattle area, both industry and nonprofit sectors. David's also a United States Air Force veteran who completed a tour in Niger, Africa in 2019, and also has a master's in public health degree from Johns Hopkins Bloomberg School of Public Health. So David also has a unique and really valuable perspective that he brings to our board. Jennifer, as I mentioned, is currently the executive director of the Children's Center. She's been there since 2007. And has been really instrumental in the growth and development of the Children's Center. You might be aware that the Children's Center is currently undergoing or about to launch a major expansion project that will allow them to increase their capacity to serve children in that facility by 40%, including a number of children from a number of low-income families, many of whom reside within the different housing properties within the PDA. So there's a direct value that the Children's Center brings to the residents of that PDA, as well as folks throughout Northeast Seattle. Jennifer is also an active volunteer. She's a weekend supervisor, social worker with the State Department of Children, Youth, and Families Child Protective Services Division. She's worked as a family advocate, previously served as a court-appointed special advocate volunteer at the county's dependency court. And has been a part of the PDA board for a number of years. And then Corinne Stoll is the operations manager for Ronald McDonald House. She's been in that capacity for 22 years, I believe, or has worked for Ronald McDonald House for 22 years. She's been the director of operations since 2007. She spent a time actually living on the property there, so she's super familiar with the PDA and the other organizations, and has been instrumental in partnering with various user groups and residents in the property, and helping manage some of the interplay and connection between the different organizations, not just supporting Ronald McDonald House. So I'm really looking forward to having Karen on the board. And then myself, I am the president and CEO of Prevail, which is a Seattle organization that provides support services to children and adults with disabilities. As I mentioned, we have affordable housing for individuals with disabilities within the PDA that we have owned and operated since the early 1980s. I've been on the board of the PDA for the better part of the last 20 years, and am looking forward to continuing to serve as a board member. Happy to answer any questions that you might have about PDA or any of the board members.
Hey, well, thank you very much. That was very impressive. I have to admit, great ignorance on the issue of the work of the Burke-Gilman PDA, and this conversation is making me think it might be worthwhile to bring all of our PDAs forward for a brief introduction to the really good work that they're doing. So thank you for that, and thank you for the work that you and the other members have been doing, sort of unsung, I imagine. And I'm really interested to learn more about this Children's Center expansion. It sounds like a fabulous project. So I will ask my colleagues if there are any questions or comments. No, not seeing any. Okay, thank you. So seeing no further questions or comments, I now move that the committee recommend confirmation of appointments 2818 through 2822. Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you. It's been moved and seconded to recommend confirmation of the appointments. Are there any final comments before we vote? Seeing none. Madam Clerk, will you please call the roll on the recommendation to confirm the appointments?
Councilmember Saka,
Aye.
Councilmember Wu,
Yes.
Chair Moore.
Yes.
3 in favor, none opposed.
Wonderful. The motion carries, and the committee recommendation to confirm the appointments will be sent to the April 16th City Council meeting. Thank you, Michael, for joining us today and giving us information about the PDA as well as all of the individuals who are up for appointment today. And please pass along the committee's gratitude for the work that you are all doing and your willingness to continue to serve the residents of our city. Thank you.
Will do. Thank you very much.
All right. Well, if there is nothing further, we have a short meeting today, so this will conclude the April 10th meeting of the Housing and Human Services Committee. The next meeting is scheduled for April 24th, 2024. The time is 10:53, and we are adjourned. Thank you.